Decoding the immersive horrors of Hololive Error. This month, your favorite VTubers unite for Hololive Error, an interactive horror story in the virtual space. With the trailer and the single installment out, we're getting an idea for what lies in store, but there are plenty of questions too. What's the error? What do we transfer to Hololive School? And why is Sukina Sora stalking us? The answers will all become clear in time. For now, we're taking our first limited deep dive into the new horror series. Visual Stars. Hololive Error is a brand new horror story set in the Japanese high school, starring some of cover's most popular VTubers. So far, the cast includes members of the company's first and fifth generations, and one more, but more on her later. The VTubers step into the roles of students at Aogami High School, meaning they get to flex their acting muscles. It's an idea 20 years in the making, finally enough. Back in 2001, after Final Fantasy, the spirits within Seiji Heroic Akerose was embarked to be a virtual star. Fans fell wrong for several reasons, but it looks like the idea might have legs after all. During the action, there's one more big star in Hololive Error, you. The project's first trailer implied that you will experience its horror firsthand, and the first episode confirms it, released as a 360-degree YouTube video. The new installment puts your face to face with Hololive stars and Aogami High. You're a transfer student, and everyone's falling over themselves to be nice to you. It is because they're just not nice. Or could it be that wool urban legend about how horrible misfortune will befall you if you're not nice or transfer students? It's hard to tell. Regardless, you want to keep your wits about you, but this first episode isn't especially spooky. There are things going on in the background. We're lucky to keep our eyes and ears open to take in everything the series shows at us. Return of the Zero Generation. Amidst all the other VTuber stars, there is one significant presence in Hololive's Error that's highly visible but remains unaddressed. Talking to Sora, the group's very first talent, stars in the project's trailer and in the key visuals on the official site. There appear to be two versions of her. One is quiet and a bit creepy in an Algama High uniform. The other, in a completely different uniform, smiles in the midst of a wrecked classroom. This is the same uniform she wears as she follows you around in the trailer, asking if you'll always be her friend. What does it mean? Well, we don't know just yet. What we don't know about the series is an overarching theme. The one small bug in the system can lead to a cycle of terror and misfortune. The only solution, fix the error. Also worth noting is the occurrence of flower vases. In the first episode, we can hear Aki and Lami's characters conserving in the background about flowers, specifically the presence of vases of them around the school. In Japan, a vase of flowers is placed on the student's desk as a memorial. Placing a memorial on the living student's desk for them to see could be considered the same as being told to kill themselves. The full-size versions of both key visuals featuring a vase, an empty vase at a desk in one, and a smashed one next to a red flower in another. Could Sora's character have been bullied, or could she have incorrectly believed someone wished death on her? Either way, we know there's an error, and that it would need fixing. It just remains to see what that is. Keep your eyes on Hololive Error for more scares in the coming weeks.